What's going on, people in the internet? My name is Adam Gang, and welcome back to the WandaVision recap show. I know it's been a few weeks, and I've been lazy with these episodes, but I had to talk about the finale, because it's great. I know people are hating on it right now, but it was great. Like, this is the best Marvel finale, the most satisfying Marvel finale I've ever witnessed in my entire life. So, let's get into it. But before we do that, I gotta recap some other episodes real quick. This is like bullet points from the other episodes. So back when we left off with this series, we found out what was going on in Westview. Then the next episode after that, we went to the 80s, and the boys, Timmy and Tommy, were growing up, and they did that little 80s episode. It was like Full House, or any other 80s sitcom. What happened in that episode, though, at the end, was Vision kind of, was starting to question everything that Wanda is doing, and then, somebody shows up. It's, we thought at the time it was Evan Peters Quicksilver, but it's actually not. Also, spoilers for the rest of WandaVision. I'm gonna go deep into spoilers. So if you don't want to know anything about 6, 7, 8, 9, click off now. So that was what happened in episode 6. Now we move on to episode 7, and we're in the 90s, where the kids have already grown to like 12, and it's a Halloween episode. So, Vision, after last week, episode 6, was questioning everything, right? So, he goes out of the Hex, which is the name for the Westview anomaly. He goes out of it and realizes that he is some kind of, he cannot leave the Hex or the anomaly because he is some kind of thing. I don't know. I mean, I do know, but we'll get into everything later on in the video. We'll get into the answers once we get to episode 9. But yeah, that's what happened majorly, and then Vision's in trouble, so Wanda had to expand the Hex. So Westview is now bigger than it already is. And, yeah, so that's what happened in episode 7, I believe. Episode 8, we go in, no. I'm missing a few episodes. Let me try again. First. Alright, so apparently there's been a lot of things that I've glossed over in this video. Episode 5, Pedro, what we thought to be Evan Peters Quicksilver from the X-Men universe comes in, and also in episode 5 there's something really important that happens. They get a dog. It's part of the 80s sitcom, you know, they always have the two kids get a dog or whatever. And then the dog dies, but the nosy neighbor, Agnes, finds the dog and she's like, oh, it's dead, son. So, yeah, those were the two things that happened in the episode. Also, Vision is at work, and he, like, his coworker, he stops coworker out of the, like, sitcom for, like, 2 seconds, and he's like, oh, I have a family, blah, blah, blah. She's doing this to us. Let us go. So, after work, Vision gets home. He interrogates Wanda about what's happening. I don't even know who I am outside of Westview. I don't even know what's outside of Westview. And we're gonna get those answers a little later. But yeah, that's episode 5 in a nutshell. And they're setting up with the nosy neighbor character because she's in every situation in the show that, well, we'll get to that later, but on to episode 6 is the Halloween Spectacular. Basically what happens in this episode, Vision tries to get out of Westview after he realizes that he doesn't know who he is, and Westview's kind of weird, so he goes and investigates. Otherwise, it's just a Halloween episode. At the end, Timmy and Tommy get powers. And yeah, that's episode 6 basically. But it's all Halloween themed. And it's a Malcolm in the Middle episode. On to episode 7. Episode 7. Yeah, it's the Modern Family episode where Wanda's having a stressful day because the anomaly is breaking around her. So Agnes takes the boys to her house so Wanda can have a relaxing day. But on the other side of the coin, in the outside world, Monica is trying to get into the hex. And then, back inside of the hex, Agnes took the kids, and then Wanda is fighting with Monica, and then Agnes takes her into her house, and she's like, but Wanda's like, where are the kids? So she's feel like something's up, and then she goes in the basement and finds that Agnes is a witch known as Agatha Harkness, and we'll learn more about her in episode 8 coming up right now. Episode 8, we got we go back into Agatha's past, and she was a witch. She was was tied to a tree by some other witches, and they were like, "You are evil," and blah blah blah. So anyway, I get this tied to a tree, and then the other witches are like, "You can't have so much power," so they try to suck the power out of her, but it doesn't work, and they all end up dying. So now, we go back to the present time, and Wanda's in the basement, filled with a bunch of runes, and, like, then they go inside of Wanda's past, and find out what really happened to Wanda that they didn't say in, Age of Ultron. We get to find out now. Like, they go back to her parents' living room. They're about to watch a whole bunch of sitcoms. That's why this whole thing is based around a sitcom, because her and her brother and her parents all like sitcoms, so yeah. But then they, like, you remember in Age of Ultron where a missile goes through the window? Well, they're about to watch the sitcoms, and the missile goes through the window, killing their parents. But they survive because of Wanda has powers, like, from whatever, we'll find out later. But then they go to Age of Ultron time, where they're volunteering for Hydra, and she sees the Mind Stone, I guess, and then she faints, and then we go to Avengers Tower after the events of Age of Ultron, where her brother died, and she's talking to Vision about it, and he's pretty understanding. And then we get to see what happens when Vision. Then we get to see what happens after Endgame, where Vision's body is at Sword, and she runs into Director Hayward. Director Hayward's like, "We can't let you take Vision's body and give it a proper burial." So, earlier on in the series, like, Hayward was painting Wanda as this, like, villain that took Vision's body. So that she can have it for her own. But that's not true. She just wanted it to give it a proper burial. But that didn't happen, so she says goodbye, and then she makes Westview, and then a lot more explaining with Agnes, like, Agatha. She was the one that basically did the Pietro thing, and it wasn't really Pietro. We'll figure it out in the next episode. It was her so-called husband that she said in episode 1 and 2 and 3. But it wasn't really her husband. It was some guy that she captured. That's spoilers for episode 9, by the way, the final episode, which we will get into to wrap up episode 8 though, like, Agatha basically did everything and killed the dog too in the 80s episode. So that was a big reveal. And she's basically the main villain of the show. And then, wait. I'm getting mixed up. I just mixed 2 episodes. That was the end of the last one, the, Modern Family one. I'm sorry, guys. But everything else happened that I told you in episode 8, when they go into Wanda's past. So, get ready for the finale, episode 9. I know this is a jumbled mess, but I can't remember every little detail that happened in the whole series. So, finale time. Yay. Basically what happens at the end of that other one, though, that I was telling you about, episode 8, is Agatha has Timmy and Tommy captured, and that's where they end it. There's an end credit scene where Monica is trying to snoop around at Agatha's house, and then fake Pietro shows up. So, yeah, on to the finale. And we finally arrived at the finale. So, this was a really good episode. This was this week's episode that I just watched today. And this was a really good finale to the series. It started off with where we were in the last episode. Timmy and Tommy are captured. And then Wanda's like, let them go, and then she does. Or they fight a little bit with Dragon Ball, which withered beams. There's a lot of like Dragon Ball Z fighting in this episode. Kind of reminded me of Dragon Ball Z. It was really cool. Anyway, I forgot to say in the last episode that there was a pretty big end credit scene. They go back to Director Hayward, and they created a vision, but it's a different vision. It's a white vision. So in this episode, White Vision goes into the Hex and starts fighting with the inside of Wanda's vision. But anyway, yeah, the vision and the white vision go and fight for a little bit. And then Wanda and Agatha fight with Dragon Ball style beams and witchcraft and stuff. So, yeah. And then in the finale, Wanda finally dons the Scarlet Witch costume, which was pretty cool. And the whole fight with Agatha and Wanda was really cool. Like, they had a bunch of stuff in that episode. That was really cool. including white white vision and vision go into the library and they have a philosophical chat about two halves of a whole person. So in the end, Vision makes the white vision vision again. So now there's another vision. So now we have another vision. So Vision is not technically dead anymore, I think. So then, Agatha and her fight some more. And there's this really cool, like, backdrop of her in the red sky and them two in the red sky and the ruins. And then, yeah, there's a lot of things. Vision. But then, Agatha is defeated, and then Vision want to go home with Timmy and Tommy, and everything is going back to normal, because earlier in the episode, Wanda, like, released everyone from the spell, I guess. So, yeah, that's happening, so, the the Vision in this series was not the real Vision. As I've said already in this video, it's not the real Vision. Although we get to see why, or we got to see why Wanda made the anomaly in the last episode. And then, anyway, Vision want to go home, and Wanda tells Vision everything that why he was created. He was created out of Wanda's pain and, love and joy and heartbreak and all that. So, yeah, it's not the real Vision, but I've said, like, there's a new Vision that's white out there. So, yeah, and then Wanda frees everybody in Westview and then walks out of Westview and then meets Monica and is like, thank you for everything, I'm sorry that I was such a jerk. And then she flies off. And then that's the end of the finale. I know it wasn't a very precise video. There are two end credit scenes. One is of Monica meeting up with a Skrull in a theater. If you've seen Captain Marvel, you know what that is. And the other one, the other one is Wanda looking at the magician, the magical book that Agatha had to possibly open up the universe, and she hears Timmy and Tommy screaming for help. I don't know what that means, but we'll find out in Multiverse of Madness, I believe. Doctor Strange. So yeah, I'm pretty excited for what Marvel has next. So let me know what you think of this video. I know it's a little rambling, but I didn't remember what happened the entire show. A review a review of this show overall. I'm gonna give WandaVision like 3 stars. I liked it, but they could have explained the multiverse stuff a lot more, and they didn't have to tease us with um the Evan Peters Easter egg being in there. We thought it was the X-Men, but it wasn't the X-Men. So yeah, I give it a probably 4 star as a series overall. So let me know what you thought of WandaVision if you watched the entire series. Um, let me know what you thought, and I will, I will see you in the next recap series that I do of the Marvel uh, TV shows. The next one is Falcon and the Winter Soldier. That should be coming out in a couple weeks. So I've been Ryan Wolfgang. Um, bye everybody. I'll see you in the next video.